Welcome back to Back Talks Football, and Leverkusen have clinched it right at the end again in their game against Heidenheim as they make sure that they are on the tails of Bayern Munich as they win the game 1-0. I mean, it was such a tight game of football, and for the majority of the game, you really did not think that Leverkusen were gonna go ahead and score a goal. I mean, they barely created anything. If I'm being very honest with you, I think Heidenheim were the better team in the entirety of that game, and that is saying something considering that Heidenheim are barely, fighting for their survival. They are in that relegation fight. They are in that 16th place, and Hoshen Kyle and Abokim, sorry, both of them, they are on the cocktails of Heidenheim, like just a 4 point difference between the three of them. So it was such an important and crucial game for Heidenheim as well. So and especially for Leverkusen as well, for both of them, considering where both of them are. And I really did not think that Leverkusen were gonna have such a tough time. Of course, it was an away game. It was in Heidenheim's stadium, and you expected the fans to to show up, and which they did in numbers. It was a really good atmosphere for the game as well, and Heidenheim really lived up to that atmosphere. As I said, they created better chances as compared to Leverkusen. Never really in that game it looked like that Leverkusen were gonna score the goal. It always looked like that Heidenheim were the team that was go ahead and break the barrier, break the deadlock. They came close 2-3 times. They hit the crossbar a couple of times in the first half as well, but unfortunately for them, they were just not really able to put the ball in the back of the net. And this has if you are playing against a team like Leverkusen, if you get the chance, you need to take it, especially considering the position that you are in. Leverkusen, as I said, I really don't think they played that good in this game. I think I'm not going to say they were terrible. I would say they were just there. I personally think that Heidenheim, they played better. And I think they exceeded their expectations and their fans' expectations as well in this game, if I'm being very honest with you, because nobody really expected them to put up such a good fight in this game, but they were really good, and they made sure they they worked out Leverkusen. They tried really hard, and I think it is a hard break for Heidenheim, much more than of course it's a big win for Leverkusen. But for Heidenheim, it's such a massive heartbreak to lose right at the end, when you have been basically a better side in terms of creating chances. They did not have that much possession, like a possession where it was like 52 and 48 in the end. So it really did not matter. It was like an equal game. Both the teams had the ball for like equal in my opinion. And as I said, Heidenheim, they created the better chances, but they were just not able to finish it off. And now, luckily for them, like the other teams behind them have not really gain points as well, so they still they still stay on that 16th position. It is still sort of a big it's a worrying position, because it's a relegation promotion playoff place, but it's much better than being in that 17 or 18 position. So they would hope that they can continue this, they can take heart from this performance, and they would hope they can get a couple of wins to get away from this position as well, because St. Pauli above them, they are just 3 points behind St. Pauli in 15. So it's not like they are far behind as well. So but the problem is there are so many less games to go. It is getting really tighter for them. Leverkusen, on the other hand, I think they would be overjoyed, because they know themselves that they really did not play up to their potential. The fluidity, the passing that Leverkusen really play with, that they usually have, that they are known for, it was not there. It was missing today. I don't know what happened. It's not like they had a midweek game or anything. They had a full week's rest, and still they really did not play that good, if I'm being very honest with you. They were quite lethargic. But it has been the case since Xabi Alonso has took over Leverkusen. You don't count them out until it is the final result is blown, and yet again they keep on scoring. Like, they basically are the king of late goals for in the last couple of years. They never give up. They keep on trying, even if it's not working, even if they are not playing good. You just you know that Leverkusen can strike you, and they can strike you a little bit, and they did. I mean. And if you look at the goal, it's not something really a special goal. It's not a really well put move that they put together or something like that. One touch pass between Xhaka, then the pass comes in, and when they are scored, it was a gamble shot that he took, and the ball hits the crossbar goes in the goal post and goes in the back of the net, and it becomes 1-0 right at the in the 91st minute. You are scoring, and you're scoring that type of goal. The luck was on their side, to be very honest with you. In my opinion, I don't think they deserve to win this game. I think a draw would have been a fair result. But life is not fair, and you are gonna have results like this, and they got that result. It was an interesting game. Both of them. It was a good game of football. I don't think, as I said before, it was nothing really that exciting. Nothing was created that much as well. And not many highlights of the game as well. But in the end, the main point is that Leverkusen get those 3 important points, and the title race is still open. 6 points between them and Bayern Munich, and they are not really letting Bayern Munich off the edge. And the funny thing is, Bayern Munich themselves yesterday, they had to really worked out against Bochum. They barely won their game as well, and then today Leverkusen had to go through that. Is because right, it's the end of the season, and every single team is really fighting it out for those points. Every single point matters to everybody, and especially teams like Bochum against Bayern Munich, or today Heidenheim against Leverkusen. They are fighting for their survival, so they are going to push you to your limits. It's up to the teams how they respond, and both of them, Munich responded yesterday, and now today Leverkusen have responded as well. I am still, it could really turn out to be a very interesting end to the season. I still cannot, I don't think any Bayern fans can with chest say that they are going to win the league, because of how close it is. One bad game from Bayern Munich, and Leverkusen would be on them. They are still on them. 6 points. People think that 6 points are a lot. They are not that much, as I said, one bad game. You just need a couple of bad games. One bad game, let's say Bayern lose one game, and it's going to be a 3-point difference, and then the pressure on Bayern Munich is going to be even more than it is right now. So it is quite interesting, and with so many games, so many less games to go, I think we are in for a really interesting end to the season, not just for the title, but as I said before, for the relegation zone as well. I mean, you have Bochum, you have Holstein Kiel, you have Heidenheim, you have St. Pauli as well. They are still not safe, so anything could happen, and even if Heidenheim, they might think that they are in the 16th position, a couple of weeks later they could either be in a worse situation, or they could be in a really bad, a great place as the season comes to an end. So all in all, a really good. I would say it was a good game of football. We really did not create that many chances, but I still think it was quite an entertaining game. It was quite a physical game of football, so it was quite enjoyable, to be very honest with you. So yeah, in the end, Leverkusen get the 3 points. Unfortunate for Heidenheim. That is it for me. Let me know what you guys thought of the game in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year, so please go ahead and help the channel out, and make us reach 500 subscribers before the season ends. Until next time, bye bye.